Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all between. Jason, my brother, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
Good. I finally got my voice back after the plague
All right.
of 4 or 5 weeks there. What's going on with you, man?
Same old, you know.
Yeah, down about 30 pounds.
Yeah. Knocking on, give or take a pound or two here and there, but
Maybe next year, man, you got to put out a calendar.
Yeah. Everybody will want to see that.
Yeah. Right. All right. Let's bring on Metalhead Fred Bonanno.
Fred,
what's happening?
Hello, V. Hello, Jason.
How's it going?
You are looking svelte there, Jason.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You're dwindling away to nothing, man.
Well, I appreciate the positivity there, but I still got a ways to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Fred, what do we have in store for us today?
Well, tonight, gentlemen, we have a band that has been getting noticed big time in the past several years, not only for their music, but their high energy and enthusiastic stage performances. I first heard of Paralandra when I saw them live last year and immediately fell in love with their music, and even more so when I got to meet them after the show. They have been true road warriors with almost nonstop touring and a new album due for release on April 4th of this year. So let's please welcome to Creativity Talking Paralandra, Cassandra Carson, Paul Carson, Sawyer Rickert, and Dakota Watson.
Hey, what's happening?
How's it going?
Good.
How are you all? How's everybody feeling out there?
Awesome.
I'm feeling excited.
Good.
So,
first things first, I know you've been very busy. We appreciate your time. I know you've been touring pretty much nonstop, and you're getting the final touches on the latest album, The Body Electric, which is due April 4th release.
Yep.
And I'm currently working on a review for Metal Temple for Street Magic, which will be out next week. I think you're going to be happy with the review. It's an awesome album.
Thank you.
I know everybody can figure out who Cassandra is, but why don't the other three guys introduce themselves individually and let us know who you are?
Yeah, I'm Dakota Watson. I'm the drummer.
I'm Sawyer Rickert, and I play the bass.
And I'm Paul Carson, and I play guitar and drive the van or whatever.
we all drive the van, okay?
We do all drive the van.
Right.
Yeah. So now I saw you guys last year backing up Liliac at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, and that's when I said, "Holy crap, these guys are good." And we started looking on your YouTube stuff and your website, and I told Jason, and there we are.
Oh, yeah.
So anybody that's not quite familiar with the band, can you give us a brief history of how you guys all started back in 2013?
Well, it pretty much all started with me and my dad here, and we had just been like writing songs for fun, honestly, just for the heck of it. And our local county was having like a little 4th of July celebration. So they entrusted my dad to like find some musical entertainment for the event. So we were like, well, hey, why don't we just put together a band and we'll like maybe perform some of these songs that we've been writing and, see what that does. Anyway, So honestly, from that performance on, it just snowballed. We kept writing. People liked what we were doing. And so then we, recorded a homemade album, and I don't know, it just hasn't really stopped since then.
Paul, I gotta say, as a dad, dude, I'm totally jealous of that. like I have 2 boys. I'm like, oh, trio?
Yeah.
It happened. They each play, but I jam with my youngest son, and there's always those, we're on stage, but we're not. But that is so cool to be able to play music, with a family member. There is a whole different thing there that, you can tell when you listen to your music, there's a different thing going on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like with the vocalist who happens to be female, a lot of the music is back a little bit. And you just like put your foot down and you're right hovering over the audience, Cassandra. It's really cool to listen to, for sure.
Well, thank you.
First thing my son came out, he's like, "Who the hell is that?" He's like, "Okay, okay." That's always cool. And every song I've heard is like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you.
Thank you
'Cause a
very
lot
much.
of-
I
A
mean,
lot of times now, like with people, okay, we don't need a 3-minute introduction to whatever you're gonna, you know what I mean? We want to rock out, man. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way we are. We usually just pretty much get on stage and get right to it. Yeah.
yep. But yeah, we
Yeah, when I-
definitely pride ourselves on, playing lots of harmony riffs and, playing complementary guitar parts, as well as having like a really nice melodic vocal on top of everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I saw you at the Arcada, I like I said in my introduction, the energy you guys got, and Dakota on drums, man, you're showing yourself back there, dude. And I love that.
Every night.
I love when a drummer becomes part of the show and he just doesn't sit back there. You guys are obviously love being on the stage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
plus with all the high notes that this guy is hitting all night, like you can't not pay attention to him.
It's crazy.
No.
A little bit of energy.
Nice.
A little bit of energy.
You can almost see Dakota in that.
Yeah. Nice.
That's a great.
Oh, yeah.
There's a piece of it.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
forehead is right
A little
there. I
bit of
see
it.
it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
night I was working hard that night.
So up front, I just want to tell everyone to go to your website, check out shows if you can make it, buy tickets, definitely buy music, and so you have a whole bunch of different packages available, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
Right
trying
on.
to
And then as
Going.
we get into the summer, you're going to be in the Midwest Monsters tour, which might have to drive up to Madison, go check you out for sure.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be a
Yeah.
good show.
Bratfest. Is that the one you're
Yeah,
talking about?
Bratfest. Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be good.
I'm super excited. This will be
Yeah.
our first time performing at Bratfest. So, but have heard, so many things from the locals about it's the best thing ever,
And it's the coolest name ever, too. If
Yeah,
you're
right.
Midwesterner, Bratfest,
So where
Yeah,
are
you
you
do,
guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fred.
Go ahead, Jason.
I was just wondering where you guys hail from.
Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Right on.
right in the middle of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice and central because, whereas we might not be the largest music city in the United States, you can get to either coast, north, west, east,
Right.
south, in like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
right.
and-
So logistically, it's really a good place to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
It really is, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah, so-
together, but it's
And more of the bigger bands now, I mean, they're getting, they have a home base. If they play this part of the states, they're in this city, and it just makes it easier.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
all the clubs that I remember all the way down the East Coast and into Florida and everything. And has it come back after I mean, how is touring? Because you guys are getting into it now. We're like a year and a half past the plague. Are things like getting back to do you see places opening up? Or
Yeah,
old
I mean,
places
there's a
coming
lot
back?
of places that definitely they're still having live music. And
Right.
honestly, we pretty much toured through COVID. I mean,
Cool.
there was a couple months that we didn't have any shows, but as soon as people were able to start having bands, whether it be with restrictions or not, we were
Right.
playing. So we have definitely found our markets, and we keep hitting those places that want live music. And at the same time, there's on the other hand, a lot of venues that are closing down right now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cities that they're just really not quite to that point yet, as far as getting out and doing live events. I don't know. I guess everybody kind of handled it differently, but
Yeah.
definitely still try and hit all the places that want us back.
Yeah, I never understood the taking away music and entertainment thing, because that's what it's there for. When
Right.
everything goes to shit, that's
Yeah.
what it's there for.
That's when you need music the most, for
Absolutely.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird time, it's going to be interesting to see all the twisted writings and music that comes out of the because for people who have this is kind of like we advocate for men's mental health on this program, and
Yeah.
during that time, man, just the mental health just
Mm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then instead of being able to gig, we had musicians like you guys all over the place doing these Zoom type jams with everyone, which literally, like, thinking back, I would love to do a documentary just on that, because like those groups of people totally just, that was a lot of people's lifeline hanging on to the end of that knot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some great jams that came out of that deal.
Oh,
too,
yeah, sure.
For real. Yeah.
We started this thing called the Licks concert series. It was like June and July of 2020, and we partnered with a local venue, and like it was once every Sunday there was a different band, and we would just
cool.
we had a whole live stream crew that was doing live sound and lights and everything, and we tried to keep it alive because still definitely had the need, maybe just not the avenue, but
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
when
Honestly, I like how that period of time gave people ideas like that. It's like, when can you actually watch a live band in concert, and between every couple songs you can interact with them and be like, oh, that was a killer guitar solo or whatever. And that's what we were encouraging. It was live interactive concert series, Licks. And it was pretty successful. It's like, I don't know why we don't do that anymore, other than the fact that it doesn't pay.
There's always that.
There's always that.
Yeah.
But, it was super fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now that
go ahead,
I was
Fred.
just asked, now that you're back out there playing and everything's back. I mean, you guys have toured with some incredible bands. Well, first when I saw it was a little 900 seat arena, so it's obviously a nice intimate setting. But you guys have played with Yngwie Malmsteen, Last in Line, Lita Ford, Dokken, Alter Bridge. You've been, and one of my favorite bands, Breaking Benjamin. I love Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
But you've also played some really big fests, Rocklahoma, Dirt Fest. You've been on a Kiss cruise. It's got to be so cool to play the intimate places, but it's got to be amazing to play something like a Rocklahoma and a Kiss cruise, right?
Yeah, for sure. The bigger events are obviously a lot of fun for a lot of reasons. And I mean, man, the Kiss cruise, like that was just a life experience. Like it was a gig for sure, but I felt like it was just a moment in time, and that was my first time even seeing Kiss live, was on the cruise. So like that was
that's cool.
crazy. Like you're saying, an intimate setting. That's a very intimate setting for Kiss.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But honestly, we have fun with all of the shows, no matter how big or small they are. Obviously, like the big shows are like really fun and great energy, but we played some really small clubs where there's only like 50 people there, but it's a packed 50 people, and it's like one of the most fun shows we've ever played.
Absolutely.
So I mean, do you guys do you have a management team that helps you like land, like say Rocklahoma and that, or you guys are you self-promoting and doing your own thing?
Yeah, so we've kind of got a few people that are helping us behind the scenes. We're under Legend Recordings, so that's like our independent record label that we're under, and they definitely help us get placed on festivals throughout the years. We haven't gotten anything yet this year except for Bratfest. But then we also work with Arm Entertainment, and they represent a lot of those legacy bands that you were mentioning, like Warrant and Firehouse and Lita, and all of these incredible bands that we've gotten to share the stage with. So
cool.
Couple different people working. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It's crazy. You can never really know, but
I want to ask you about a couple of your songs, but first question is, who's the main songwriter in the band? Is it a combination?
It's primarily the two of us, me and my dad, and then normally we'll take like a nugget of an idea or even an entire fleshed out song and bring it to band practice. And Sawyer and Dakota are extremely instrumental, intended, in like refining, trimming the fat, and just like the overall like putting together of the song, the final touches, and also like we love like being really tight and having little sections that are like little
Like
hits, syncopated things, So that's whenever we really start nitpicking. And when the four of us are in the room together, we really start like honing in and dialing it into something that is a Paralandra song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it normally just starts with like a little ditty with some chords, but
Right.
once it gets into all of our hands, it becomes something completely different.
Me and Jason always talk about like, every, take all the top best metal tunes of all time and every single one of them has a jam.
Yeah.
There's just that, give me, you're giving us, the sugar, and then you put more sugar on top, and it's, and and it always, you wish it would last one more measure. But,
Yes.
and that's what just makes, everything so exciting that our parents didn't understand back in the day, I guess.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be a band 10 years in?
Honestly,
Unexpected.
feels really weird.
Unexpected. All right.
Yeah, unexpected is a good word.
Yeah.
Because we truly were not starting this to make it our careers, although it was a dream of mine, to be a rock star.
Yeah, sure.
Write that on my career day papers in school. But but yeah, it just it really snowballed, like I said, and like it just keeps getting more exciting and more opportunities arising. We continue writing music that we really enjoy and that other people really enjoy. So I don't know. It feels good for it to be 10 years later and we're still peaking, still rising. So
I'm probably getting ahead of myself. I was going to ask this near the end, but since you kind of brought that up, I grew up listening. Unfortunately, a lot of the bands I grew up listening to, and I still support them when they're out there touring, but they're getting near the end of their careers, calling it quits, or they're touring basically with just one original band member. I mean, some of the big dogs are still out there, like Maiden and Priest and Metallica, even Alice Cooper. But no pressure on you guys at all. But it seems like you're the new generation of young bands that are going to carry the torch. And you got to be excited about that journey, that you're going to be part of this movement forward of these new bands are going to have to keep the industry going.
I appreciate it. We're trying. We're heavily inspired by, the 80s and the guitar-driven music and the solos and, music, it all has fads, it ebbs and flows, what's popular, but it definitely seems like it's coming back around right now. So I feel like it's going to be perfect timing for this new album to drop. And, people are, I think, more ready to accept a hard rock band like in the forefront of music right now.
I know I am. I'm so
for sure.
The pop stuff is lost on me. It's not my thing, and I'm like, man.
I write for Metal Temple magazine, and like I said, I'm reviewing your album, so I see a lot of bands come across, and luckily they know what I like. I'm a classic hard rock guy, so they send a lot of bands like that my way, and we brought several of them on the show. Wings of Steel. We were interviewing a band Monday called Notorious. But I can't get into the death and doom metal. That I don't get that. And there's so much of it out there. That's one genre I can't get into, is that, especially I call it the Cookie Monster rock. I can't get into that, but that's huge. And I'm just glad to see you guys and some of the other bands like that are
more melodic stuff.
More classic, so and that'll get me to a question about your first couple albums. See if you agree with this statement or not. Your first EP, Ascension, in 2016, your next full-length album, Street Magic, which was released in 2021. Did you find it that you got a little bit more aggressive feel, that you developed your sound more between those two albums?
Yeah, I think so. When we first started writing, it was just literally anything goes. I mean, it still kind of is, but we have honed it down to a sound that we feel is more like indicative of the four of us together. So like I would write a song and bring it to the band and we'd flesh it out, but it would just kind of be my little thing or Cassandra. But now I feel like the Street Magic in particular is a great representation of just what we could not do without each other.
Yeah. Plus, it was Dakota's first recording with us.
Yeah.
So he was not on Ascension. So
Dakota's the key. Huh?
Right.
Dakota was the missing piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
I think that's where the line was drawn to where if you took either of these guys out of the equation, it would not sound like Street Magic. I mean, we could do it. Me and Cassandra can write songs, but they're not going to sound as good without these guys because we just bring them, you know, like all the parts, and they help us put it together. And so it's, and then for the next album, Body Electric is even more so. I mean, it's
especially working with Elvis Basquet, because he's just an incredible songwriter himself. And so, you know, like honestly, our songs, they do stay true to how they originally were when we brought them in. But then working with someone like him just really brings the songs to another level. Just small tweaks here and there that really make it, just set it off. So
yeah, I didn't know much about him, so I Googled him, and he's worked with some really big hitters, Seven Dust, Alter Bridge, Slash, Trivium. But the list went on and on, like 2 pages long of the artists he's worked with. So how has it been working with him, and how did he help develop your sound?
It's been amazing. I mean, like it's kind of crazy because, you know, we do respect him so much for what he's done. And like my favorite band is Alter Bridge, and it has been for like pretty much since I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So,
Miles Kennedy, what a voice, right?
Yeah, seriously. But you know, Dakota is really inspired by Alter Bridge as well. And so we all just kind of knew that he was in the same headspace that we were wanting to go into with our albums because of his previous works. So we could be like, okay, we're really feeling like this vibe that you did on this song or whatever. And, you know, he's there. He understands the vision. But yeah, it really feels like he's kind of our 5th member when it comes to, you know, writing the songs. Because when we start each album process, we start with like a week of pre-production, and the 5 of us are just sitting in a circle in a room going through all the songs, and we got it all in our headphones, you know, and just really refining and making everything as
Super
great
fun.
as it can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great time. He has so many amazing ideas. Like the guy's incredible.
Is he part of the Body Electric too then?
Yeah.
So are you guys still working on a record, or is it done and you're just waiting to release in April?
It's done, and we're just getting ready to release it.
Nice.
Yeah, we got one more single coming out on March 5th, and then it'll be the full album on April 4th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get in touch with you before you drop it, so I can beat my buddies at Metal Temple and review it for you.
There you go.
So
Nice.
I'll be bugging you like I was bugging you for this interview. You'll get tired of seeing my email come across. Damn him. Squeaky wheel, right? So I got to ask you one song on Street Magic. I'm sorry, you probably know which one I'm going to ask about, because in the video you set a car on fire, and the lyrics to Despicable are, "I've been living it all my life, but your lies begin to fade. You've lived, but I've learned, because you're so despicable." There's got to be a backline to that song.
It's a great tune.
Oh yeah. So
You had to ask.
Man, many people think that it is a breakup song, but it is not. It was just about some, you know, just people in my life that were judging me really harshly for, you know, living the life that I live, which is primarily in bars and around, you know, drugs and alcohol and things like that. The thing was, you know, I'm not necessarily participating in all of these behaviors, but I am going into dark places and trying to shine a light. And that's like the whole point of this band, is to be a light in the darkness.
Right.
So I was feeling like, this is the biggest hypocrite in the world. You're coming down on me like I am the bad person, when I'm actually trying to spread love and acceptance out here and positivity. And all you're doing is not supporting any shows and having a lot of mean things to say and not really knowing what you're talking about. So,
especially when people go, "Oh, I wish I had time where I can."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You can do it.
yeah. So
Oh,
it's
well,
like,
you know, you're just
just
making
despicable.
excuses, man. You're just jealous.
yeah. The whole thing is, I'm not the despicable one. You're the despicable one.
Yeah.
That's like the whole.
Who are
message.
you hurting? You're helping.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
right,
try it at least.
exactly.
Always
So,
blows
but that
my
was a fun
mind.
music video to make. It was our video team's idea. Acceleration Media, they have done all of our music videos aside from our very first one. And they came up with the idea to blow up the car. And we were like, oh my gosh, yes. So it's real, not even CGI. We blew that thing up.
Nice.
It was hot.
Yeah.
It was very
hot.
It's
Well,
fun.
the
blowing up
video
cars.
for is it Dirty
Love.
Dirty Love?
Mhm.
That must have taken you guys forever because you're like in a million different costumes in that video. That must have taken
Dude,
you
you would
forever.
think that took one day,
One
from
afternoon.
sun
Yeah,
up
one
until
afternoon.
sundown.
Yeah.
Well, it was
We-
like from noon
Yeah.
till
We
sundown,
started
like
filming at
6:45.
Yeah.
So I guess about less than 7 hours is
Wow.
what it took.
We had it pretty
It was
much like,
busy.
yeah, we had it pretty much storyboarded out, and we were just like, okay, we got this and then this, and we had
Go.
to go over here and run and change clothes real quick, and we had to have it timed from filming the scenes where we were the least muddy to the most muddy, and yeah, like that final scene was when Cassandra gets thrown in the mud and she's just covered. That was
Yes, the
Yeah,
face.
she did not look happy. You did not look.
there was no more filming that we could do after that.
That was a good flop.
It was fun.
Thank you.
That was a
I'll
super
bet.
fun.
I was a
bet,
gymnast
yeah.
for many years, so I know how to fall gracefully and
There you
not.
It's
I know how
very
to fall,
important
but
to
not
know how to
gracefully.
fall. That's a major
Yeah,
thing.
I know how to fall. So I got a couple individual questions, if I can. Let's start with you, Cassandra here. The project that you worked with Josh Rand from Stone Sour, the Life Project.
Mhm.
So if anybody hasn't heard of this album, go out and get it. It's awesome, and you sound amazing on it,
Thank
Cassandra.
you.
How did you get involved with Josh on that project?
It was kind of just the people sort of thing. My boyfriend Jaron recently had joined the band Heaven's Edge, and the drummer for that band is Dave Rath, who worked for Roadrunner Records. And like Stone Sour was on Roadrunner for quite a long time. So pretty much what had happened was with Jaron making this new relationship with Dave Rath and, and meeting them and having band rehearsals, came around to knowing who I was, and Dave was turned on to my music. And then at some point, I guess, found out that Josh was looking for a female singer from the Midwest that was interested in doing some kind of like metal hard rock project. So he was like, oh, well, I just found out about this girl, Cassandra Carson. So he linked us up, and Josh had already written, I think it was like 10 songs instrumentally. They didn't have any vocals on them or any lyrics written. So he sent those to me, and he was like, here, let's just, see what you come up with. And the first song that I wrote was The Nothingness, which ended up being, I think, probably our biggest single. And after that, we just kind of played around. We recorded a bunch of covers just for fun to just kind of figure out like what our vibe was, like what is our sound, Cassandra and Josh together. And and we've got lots of music in the till, like still waiting to be released.
Okay.
So yeah, there's much more to come.
Very cool.
Well,
Look forward to that.
speaking
Look
of
forward to that.
videos, so we do a reaction, me and Jason, called Tunage every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And because this show is on Saturday, yesterday, okay, this is kind of like a time machine thing. After this show, we're going to pre-tape a reaction video for the record. So I'm sure we loved it.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see your reaction video
In
of
advance. So that's what we're doing. And just wanted to mention, people, if you're watching this, haven't seen the reaction video, go watch the For the Record reaction video, me and Jason.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh.
That's a good one.
That is the perfect one to do a reaction video to. I cannot wait to.
I played the first 2 seconds and I go, okay, this is the one. We try to do stuff that we've never heard before. So I've never heard that song.
Excellent.
So I'm like, okay, I heard other ones just, to check it out and stuff. I'm like, okay, right on. I'm like, okay, Jason will like this one.
Love it.
Sweet.
Cannot wait to see.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, there's a little nod to Hot for Teacher video kind of vibe going there.
Yes.
I'm like, right on. And we're big Van Halen fans, of course.
Dude. Same.
But,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
Fred.
believe Paul, you're a big Eddie Van Halen fan, right? How much
I kind of am. Yeah.
how much did he influence you?
Huge. Like right after I started playing guitar, my best friend brought over, the tape. I think everybody's had that experience the first time you hear Eruption and you're just like,
Right.
what?
This world is a different place than I thought it was. What is going on?
Yeah.
But it began my obsession for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he turned a lot of people on, man. Rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. God bless.
Got another one for you, Paul, since I got you. And I hope you never had to do this because I like to think that most rock and roll fans are pretty respectful. But have you ever had an incident where you had to go from band member mode to dad mode because you're touring with your daughter?
I can think of one instance, but
Yeah.
that was it wasn't because I was acting out of line. The courtyard
the laugh.
with the pushing incident.
I can't remember.
You guys remember?
The pushing incident?
Is that the short stage place?
Oh, that too.
Oh, no, that's a separate
Are
pushing
you
incident.
talking about that show? Okay, yes. I did, but I can't give too much information. I truly can't. But yes, I literally had to go into hardcore, but it was to
it was a protection sort of
protect
thing.
this girl.
Right.
Yeah, and usually she is a very strong personality, and she doesn't need much protecting, to be honest with you.
You look like you can kick some ass.
She is she is strong in mind and body, and yeah. I mean, the girl can take care of herself, but sometimes somebody crosses a line.
Yeah.
And, Dad has to.
I could see that happening. I could see that. So I want to get to the new album coming out, but I want to ask Dakota and Sawyer back there, who I understand are childhood buddies, right?
Yeah. You guys get up.
So give us a little bit. How did you guys get into your musical journey?
I started playing drums when I was 10.
Your head's got off.
Oh, I got inspired. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to where I was.
That would be great.
There we go. 6'3" on a Zoom call never works out.
This is the first time someone's ever asked him a question.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands. I started playing drums when I was 10. My brother had been playing guitar for my older brother for a couple years at that point, and my parents were both rock fans. I was a rock fan, and Jacob, my brother, playing guitar. I was like, well, I should play guitar too, right? And he said, no, you should play drums so we can actually learn songs and play them together. And that's kind of how it all started. Like before I got my first kit, it was a 2-liter bottle and a shoebox and a tinker toilet.
Right.
And we were ripping AC/DC and learning songs from School of Rock, which was like our favorite movie at the time.
Yeah.
But started playing shows when I was 13. And Sawyer and I, we've been neighbors ever since, we grew up.
Yeah, four
doors down from each other. Yeah. And he'd been a musician, and we joined forces with 4 guys from high school, my brother included, in like 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
That's whenever we first started playing together.
Early 2013, maybe. Yeah, early 2013 sounds about right. Yeah,
and we were in a couple different bands together, and then slowly but surely we were introduced to the Carsons through work and through mutual shows. Yeah. And immediately the Carsons were like, we have to poach these guys. We have to get them.
Their band was called Crowning Alice, and awesome stuff, by the way, if you just want to go down a rabbit hole. But yeah, so Crowning Alice and Paralandra would play shows together, and literally the first show we did, me and Dad were watching, and we were like, we have to get them.
You stole them then, right?
But kind of halfway kidding ourselves, oh, that's not going to happen.
They weren't kidding.
At the same time,
I had a mohawk like that. That was ridiculous.
And you joined them what year? 2013 or 14? 16.
Yeah, I joined
15.
End of 15.
End of 15.
Yes.
Yeah, is when I joined Paralandra, and then Dakota joined early 2019.
That's right.
So how did that go down? Did they steal you from the other band, or it was kind of
Cassandra reached out to me and she said, hey, we need a bass player and we're going to go play Knot Fest in California, so you should come with us. And And I was like, that sounds amazing. I'd love to play Knotfest.
Yeah.
And then we never went.
And then we never
Knotfest.
played Knotfest. That's all I had to do.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing she didn't say. It's a good thing she didn't say, "Do you know any bass play?" Good thing she said, "We need a bass player. Do you know any?"
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Nice.
So it happened.
That's
Everything
funny.
happens for a reason. That's awesome. You guys are best friends growing up, and now you're playing in a band together.
Yeah. Once we had a
Doesn't
drummer
get any
spot
better than
open-
that.
Once we had a drummer spot open, I was like, this is the guy. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, we should probably feel him out, right? And I'm like, no, this is the
Yeah.
guy. I'm telling you.
Nice.
He's
We
the
can
guy.
feel him out all you want, but it's going to go great.
I was telling Cassandra just the other day, I remember the first time we got together to play, like actually seriously as a potential band, as the four of us. And we were playing Stone in Love by Journey. And it was
Dude, what
one
a
of
great
the
song.
songs that all of us knew, that everybody knew really well. And we
Yeah.
played through all of it. And at the very, very end, Cassandra just said, "I'm so happy." And so, in the very beginning. But yeah, everything worked out perfectly. We all,
Nice.
like you said earlier, pieces in the puzzle. It's actually
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It was a
That's
that's
lot
great to
of
hear.
making,
That's
but we
great to
made it.
hear.
Yeah, jamming with the old friend. Me and Jason are college roommates.
Nice.
We
Nice.
finally fucking graduated, but no, just kidding.
Neither did we.
yeah, yeah, 30 some odd years later, you know.
Yeah. After all these years.
Yeah.
They're both still living in the basements.
So that's why the
Yeah.
band's so tight. It's literally a family, like best friends, you know, sibling, you know, father, daughter, the whole
We were
vibe.
just playing Mario Kart before we started this interview.
Only 5 minutes. We still have one more race.
Yeah, Rainbow
Is it on
Yeah.
pause?
Yep.
We're best
Wrap
friends.
it up, guys. We got one more race.
right.
So, Cassandra, you've been compared to one of my absolute favorite singers, and I'm sure you've heard it a million times, Lizzie Hale. Have you? And I had a chance to meet her a couple years ago. She is amazing. Have you had a chance to meet her?
No, I haven't. She did make me a little happy birthday video like a few
Oh, nice.
years back. So I guess I've met her virtually in a way, but I've never met her in person. I've seen her live, I want to say 2 or 3 times. But yeah, always appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, she's great. So,
She's awesome.
what can you tell us about the new album, Body Electric? It's due out April 4th. Let me ask you one real quick question before that, because I got to get this picture up there, and then we'll talk about the new album. So when I saw you last year, because I want to get this picture up there, I had a chance to meet your boyfriend, Jaron Gelano. Is that how you pronounce it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jaron
Gelato. That's it.
Gelato.
Yeah.
Gelato. Now,
Jaron
I know he
Gelato.
was with Tantric, and he's currently with George Lynch. So I had the
Yeah.
pleasure of meeting him.
Just
He's such
so
a
we
cool
got there,
guy.
It's
That's
Jaron.
There you go.
Galino.
There he is.
Galino is how you say his name.
Yeah. Look how tall he is. I know I'm short, but so how did
He's
you two
Italian,
meet?
so he's used to eating gelato, you know.
Yeah, gelato.
Exactly.
How'd you two meet?
But we met on tour. So we did a 6-week tour with Tantric back in fall of 2018. And I don't know, I guess love was in the air. We really hit it off and started dating, and we're still dating 5.5 years later. So yeah.
Good. So let's talk about the new album, Body Electric. I mentioned April 4th. Tell us about it and any surprises on it. Anything we're not going to expect to hear that you throw
There's
something our way?
Yeah, one that was just released like a week ago, which was our first real like ballad, you know, with piano and a bunch of that stuff. So that was a real departure. Yeah, we've never. I mean, that's not the way we practice or play. We've got guitars, we've got loud amps, and so that was definitely getting a little weird for us. But it turned out well. We're super happy with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly,
it's a beautiful song.
I would put
Thank
it,
you.
the whole album, The Body Electric, right on par with Street Magic, if not
Better.
a little bit better. It's just like, as far as vocally for me, like I would say I recorded like 4 times the amount of vocal tracks that I did on Street Magic, just like in harmonies and extra parts. Like we really just went into this album and we did every single every single thing we could possibly think of, you know, to like make these songs the best they could be.
Right.
And as far as surprises go, we do have a few songs on this album that we have recorded before, but only in that home recording that I mentioned earlier when we first started. It's not available online, but it was called Rise Up. And it was 12 songs that, you know, me and my dad had written at the time. And we never re-recorded them after that until now. So there's a couple of songs that we've been playing live, like for the entire duration of this band, pretty much, that are finally going to be officially released to the public.
So looking forward to it. So,
Yeah.
and I know you're touring all over the place. You said the Brat Stop. I'm supposed to scold you from my wife because she follows you on Instagram and she asked you if you're coming to Chicago and you didn't get back to her yet. So I said, she's told me to scold you. Are you guys planning on Chicago at all?
Yes, actually, we're planning on trying to do a show around Chicago heading up to Bratfest. So fingers crossed we can get something routed along there. But
Yeah,
I'm so
cool.
sorry we didn't get back to you. We love
and you're playing in Carbondale. You're playing in Carbondale, Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like 2 weeks from now or so.
Yeah.
It's actually, where even is Carbondale? Is it close to Chicago?
I don't know.
It's about
it's-
4 hours south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
College, University of
College.
Illinois is right there. Yeah.
I knew it
But
was
we got to do a road trip. Vince, we'll go up to the Brat Stop.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do a live remote from your show. How's that?
Please
Go
do.
get a crowd, have some sauerkraut, a couple of beers.
That's right.
Perfect.
You know how to party.
Yeah. Go get some cheese.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta stop at the cheese castle when you go through Wisconsin.
Oh, of course. You have to
Yeah.
stop.
It's like, you
Yeah.
know, when you cross the equator and you get to put your earring in, it's the same kind of shit when you enter Wisconsin.
Yeah, and then
Cheese castle.
Wow.
I always thought that was hilarious in Stripes. Bill Murray, Czechoslovakia, it's like Wisconsin. But anyway,
You guys ever find yourself in the Carolinas? You get down this far, or
We have.
yeah?
Blind Tiger a couple years ago.
yeah, North
We've
Carolina.
done blind.
I don't think we've ever done South Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think we
No, we never have.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm near Greenville, so yeah.
We went and saw Sebastian Bach in
Asheville.
Greenville.
Oh, right on.
Asheville. We went to
Oh, yeah.
Asheville.
Asheville's about an hour away. Yeah.
I think we just
Yeah.
stayed there. I don't
I
think
don't
we
know.
played South Carolina.
Maybe not.
Hmm.
But
North Carolina a few
Yeah.
times.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll keep an eye out.
I know we're putting together lots more ideas for tour dates for this year. I mean, we're going to try and stay as busy as possible, as
Yeah.
usual.
Right.
right?
So, I mean, we're going to try and hit every coast as much as we possibly can.
Cool.
yeah.
So
Never seen.
okay, so let's first exposure to musical instrument. Was it through Cassandra? Was it through your dad?
Yeah, I would say so. I assume the guitar was probably my first exposure to a musical instrument or a piano, one of the two.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was my grandmother's piano, and we'd go to her house. That was always where I wanted to go until I was told to get off that freaking piano. I'd get over there and I'd figure out how to make, little different sounds, and I loved it. I was obsessed, and
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was the same. My great grandma played piano in church.
Yeah.
So yeah. And she taught me the chopstick song.
Nice.
It was my grandpa on an acoustic guitar for us. Played a lot of gospel and old country stuff.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, my family was on my dad's side was French Canadian, Huron Indian, and so we had people playing spoons, someone on a fiddle, like do mouth harp and all this stuff, and singing.
That's
awesome.
Sick.
Okay, like,
All right,
and then
I
I
hate
would
to
go to
ask-
other families. Your family doesn't do that. I always thought it was weird, and then I saw the Andy Griffith show. I'm like, oh, we're just Canadian hillbillies.
Yeah.
Your uncle
Then you watch Deliverance, and you know, it made sense.
Now, I know you guys have heard, obviously, that country star Toby Keith passed away. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Toby.
Rest in peace.
But I understand you guys have a Toby Keith story, right?
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
So the story really just goes like we were playing this. It was a private party, but they were really they rented out a venue and they were hosting a party for anybody to come to. And it was a you want to let that dog out?
Sorry, my dog needs to go out.
Oh,
No, that's all right.
It was a
I'm scratching the door.
a heavily attended party, a lot of fun. It was on a golf resort, and we were doing multiple sets, and we were on a break, and someone's like, dude, Toby Keith is watching you guys. And I'm like, yeah, right. Cool. I'll believe it when I see it. And I went to the bathroom and came back to the stage, and here's this 6'6" behemoth of a man standing on stage, and it was Toby Keith, and we did a 30-minute rendition of Johnny Be Good. And
Did we do Taking Care of Business?
I think we did Taking Care of Business, Cocaine by Eric Clapton,
All Right.
Good.
All Right Now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember Paul came up to me on stage and he's like, hey, I just talked to Toby Keith. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, do you know All Right Now by Free? And I'm like, I mean, I've heard it. He's like, no, do you know it? I'm like, no.
None of
He's
us
like,
knew any of these songs.
He's like, okay, well, we need to learn it because he might come play this song. So Paul and I are on stage. PA is playing house music on our break, and him and I like literally have our ears together to our phone, trying to learn All Right Now by Free. And then from behind us, big stomping boot steps come up, and this shadow comes over our shoulder, and we turn. And it's Toby Keith. Y'all know the song? We're like, yeah, we sure do. So we hopped on stage, and yeah, we played All Right Now by Free for like 15 minutes. Every time he would forget the words, he would just point at Paul and say, play it, kid. And then he just rip a solo, and the people would be like, play some Toby Keith. And Toby was like, these long-haired hippies don't know my song.
I came here to rock.
Yeah. Look on our set list. Maybe
That's awesome.
Set list. And Paul writes all of our set lists. They're all puns and wordplay. It's never the name of the song.
Right.
And we were playing Barracuda, but he had on the set list Barry and Cooter. And so Toby Keith is looking at the set list was like, how about Barry and Cooter? I know. And Sawyer
I wrote that song.
I'm a baritone.
It was
Yeah, we know it.
it was an experience.
That's great.
That is
That's
hilarious.
5 songs over the span of an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just
Wow.
jam style.
Yeah, he'd remember like one verse at a time and then just play it, kid. And then Paul would just rip another solo.
Man, you guys got some stories already, you know?
Hours at that point.
Yeah, it's
I
a
just
classic.
left the stage. I had to pee.
Yeah,
Like,
we eventually all left the stage and were like, here's the guitar, Toby. Have a good time.
Sorry, man. I'm out of here.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
People were
What a
loving it.
classic
Oh, it was
story.
so much fun.
That was in September, I believe, and it was his first show since maybe February that he played.
Yeah, it was in
because of
2020
COVID.
too.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he had not played for like 9 months. That was the first time he was on stage
Wow.
since COVID broke out.
Yeah.
So he would just
That's
he
totally
could do
Wow.
a good time.
He's a
Nice.
great guy.
Fantastic. What a
Yeah.
fantastic
Rest in
story.
Yeah, really cool
Yeah.
guy.
American West.
That's right. American Girl.
So
Him and I actually, right before he and I joined Paralandra, we were in this country band that was kind of starting to write original music, mostly a cover band, and then it all fizzled out, creative personality differences, all this kind of stuff. But we played courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue
We played
every show.
Toby Keith. I mean, it's how could you not? In a country
Yeah.
band?
Oh, so you guys lied to him. You could have pulled that off.
Dude,
I told him, I was like, these guys know that Red, White, and Blue song.
All your stuff.
These long-haired hippies don't know my song.
he turned to me he's like, you know, courtesy, and to put it lightly, I was sauced, and I was like, I can't remember this song. I don't know how to play it. Oh, shut up.
So no, we didn't.
That'd be a great quote for your testimonials for your album. That Toby Keith quote, because you guys are really one of the last people he played with then.
Yeah, because shortly after that he got sick. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's pretty badass.
Yeah, man.
You know?
That is
Kinda crazy
that's a
to
great
think
story.
about.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun experience.
Absolutely.
It was.
I'll
That
bet.
is hilarious.
I wanted to ask you guys quick about the name Paralandra. You know, how you came up with it. What does it mean? You know.
Okay, so I'm a big like my favorite author is C.S. Lewis, and I was getting into his space trilogy, which is Out of the Silent Planet, then Paralandra, then That Hideous Strength. Paralandra is my favorite of that trilogy, and I was reading it. And anyway, long story short, I just thought it'd be a cool name for a band when Cassandra was in her rock band. She was in like a School of Rock thing that I was teaching. And anyway, that was just tossed around. I was like, that'd be a cool name. But when we were getting this together, I just Googled it and was like, well, it's not a band. I'm going to change a couple letters and let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
And then our first like homemade album was kind of a theme album based on that book, which is like a Garden of Eden in outer space kind of a thing. And it's bizarre, but we based that album on the book. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis. That was one of the only books I ever wanted to read as a kid because I have dyslexia. Well, I didn't know what it was then, but I knew it was just a pain in the ass to read anything. And Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and the whole Narnia series. And,
oh, yeah.
It's so good. Every single book is amazing.
You know, and it's great for that, you know, when you're just kind of coming into your imagination, like, okay, you can draw a giraffe, you can draw a cow, you know. But, you know, back when things were easier or not so advanced, that was like the perfect, you know, vehicle and imagination was the Narnia trilogy.
Great. Yeah, I literally had tally marks on each one of those books. And so that I would know, oh, I've only read that one 4 times, so I'll read this one. You know, like I love those books.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I had 2 boys, I'm like, ooh, I get to read the Narnia Chronicles out loud, the whole series.
Yes.
Prepare yourself, kids.
Oh, yeah. Voices and everything. And
yeah.
Aslan. But right on. So, okay. So Cassandra's playing music. And when do you know that the bugs got her?
Well, okay, so I was in a cover band at the time, and she would be asking me, you know, to show her how to play things that I was playing, which is crazy because the first thing, of course, she goes for is Eruption and you know, Hotel California and stuff like. And so I finally was just like, you know what? Why do we put limits? And so I would show her that crap. I was like, well, this is how it's played, you know, and we worked out. I remember showing her Hotel California and thinking, okay, if you can play this solo, you've got the building blocks to play anything. Really, it's just the quintessential solo. And so she did. And so then she, I don't know, what are you, 11 or 12?
I think I was either 12 or 13 when I first guested with. Or wait, I did Walk This Way first.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like 11 or 12. And I think when I was 13, I did Hotel California.
That's
with you
right.
guys.
Yeah. And we'd bring her on stage and we would do the whole outro guitar part. Or she played the whole song, but yeah, you know, we'd do the dueling leads at the end.
Nice.
Nail it. Everybody, their mind would be blown because there's this little girl whose guitar looks way too big for her, you know, and
giant on me.
But
and she was never scared. And that's what kind of blew my mind. It's like, wow, she's not intimidated by the crowd or the stage or the lights or the anything. So
that's what you need.
That was a moment for sure that when we'd have her on that I'd be like, man, she could probably really do this. Like as an actual musician, you know, this seems to be in her blood. So
that was definitely like the defining moment. Like, I think that first time I guested on Hotel California with you guys, that I was like, this is what I want to do. This is it. Like, I've never felt this excited or like, I don't know. It was like the closest my 13-year-old brain could relate to like doing drugs or something. Like,
right.
No, it was just this wild out of body experience. And I just couldn't wait till the next time I could do it again. So yeah, I feel like from that point on, like there was no looking back. And Like I said, I was writing, rock star on my career day sheets at school. I refused to put down anything conventional. Would not do it. Got in trouble over it many times. I would not do it. So,
do you have any vocal training, or is this all just natural?
Well, my mom's side of the family, there's a lot of vocalists. Like whenever we would have Christmas get-togethers, my mom and then all of her aunts and her grandma would do like this 4-part harmony. And actually, my mom's mom, my grandmother on that side, she was in like a traveling gospel quartet group or something like that, which I just recently found out about. But I have a lot of singers in my family. I grew up around a lot of just a cappella harmonies, just singing Silver Bells or whatever. But I was never really professionally trained. I wouldn't sing in front of anybody until I was probably like 18 years old. Like I knew that I could sing. I kind of felt like it was something that anybody could do. Like it's easy. You just like hit the note, like just listen with your ears and just make the sound that you're supposed to make. Like, I don't know. It just seemed simple to me. But once I joined my first band, they started needing background vocals. And so I was like, fine. Well, I was in choir because another one of my friends forced me to do that in high school. So I guess I can do some background vocals. And one thing led to another. And now I'm leading this band. So definitely the tables have turned. I at first only wanted to be a guitar player. I did not want to have anything to do with singing, but now I love doing both, and it's a really good time.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think all my questions are done.
You start tour with February 9th. And you'll be playing with Troy. We've covered Troy before.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great band.
Yeah, we'll be with them at Cafe Acoustic in St. Joe, Missouri, just north of Kansas City. And Troy is incredible. The Many Colored Death, they are amazing. And I just love that all of these bands are from Missouri. Yeah. And in my opinion, I mean, we have traveled all over the country and we've had numerous local bands from all kinds of cities open for us. And seriously, like these bands that we are playing with, Troy and the Many Colored Death, I would put them up against
They are the best.
Any band that we have played with elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like there's something in the water out here in Missouri. I don't know what it is, but there's some really good music coming from this area.
Awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Then
well, when you see
then February 15th, you're at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
February
Gosh,
16th.
Here that night, so that'll be a fun one.
And then February 16th, Diamond Music Hall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Hangar 9, and that's in Carbondale, Illinois, February 17th.
Yeah.
And you guys take a bit of a break in April. You're in Houston, Texas with the Last in Line at Rise Rooftop.
Yep.
Then Bratfest, May 24th.
Yeah.
May 25th and 26th, you're at Brandy's Bar and Grill in Danbury, Wisconsin.
Which is a great time.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Highly recommend.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
Then June 22nd, you're at Westgate Las Vegas Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas with Lita Ford and Warrant. That's bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one.
August.
That was originally supposed to be with Skid Row and Warrant, and then it's getting postponed, and now it's Lita Ford and Warrant. So I'm not mad.
Right.
Then August 10th, Black Shirt Bar in Dewey's, Nebraska.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's how
Dewey?
you pronounce it.
The Dewey's? Dewey's?
It's
Wheezy.
You tell us.
We'll be there.
August 16th, Spirit Mountain Casino with Vixen and Lita.
Yep.
And that's in Oregon.
That'll be our first time playing in Oregon, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
We're going to try and get some more tour dates nailed down around that, and maybe hit up Washington and Idaho and a lot of these places that we just have never been before. Plus, I just want to see the scenery. Looks beautiful.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And then September 28th, Rock in Rogersville in Rogersville, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back
Right on.
home.
That is a hometown show because Rogersville is like a very small town outside of Springfield that was the show that we originally like started this band with. Roger that.
Roger.
Yeah, it was the Rogersville City 4th of July that was kind of our first show.
Oh, cool.
So now Rogersville, which is just this small community, what do we have, like 3,000 people or something like that? But now they've been doing this Rock and Rogersville event and having bands and like getting everybody out. And it's become this like, annual thing that people really love doing. And
It's huge. Yeah.
and yeah, so now we're headlining in our own hometown.
Awesome.
Right on.
Full
A
circle.
lot of people don't know that. A lot of people know about Sturgis, but they don't know that Sturgis is only like a town of 900 people.
Oh yeah, small.
It's a little place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Building permits for tents. Anyway. So everyone go check out. Sorry, wrong one. Go check out their website right now. Go buy some tickets. Go
Get some merch.
Pre-order some stuff and get some merch, and definitely go check out their YouTube page and their social media. Share, like, tell everyone that their album is coming out and they should buy it too. And right after we're done here, we're going to do a review for the record. So that we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. We appreciate it. You guys have been really cool.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you for spreading the Paralandra word. Truly appreciate you guys.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys.
And me and Mr. Banana will see you at Bratfest.
Yes.
We will.
Yes.
Sweet.
Looking forward to it.
Right on. All right.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
everybody.
Take
Love you,
care,
brothers.
guys. Best of luck.
Activity talking.
Bye.